guys, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television, inviting you to this edition of Out and About, where we're going to visit the Flagship After School program at Washington Middle School. Hi, you guys, I'm here with Morgan Curtin, who's the Youth Development Director for Flagship, and we're here in Washington Middle School, where you just witness all the kids come into this area, and then they fanned out to do the programs, right, that they were interested in. One was MCAT, and we went upstairs. We'll join them later. But right now, Morgan's available to us to talk a little bit about the Flagship program, what its goals and roles are.
Yeah, so the Flagship program is a free after-school program that we have. It's at 8 different MCPS sites. So that's Washington Middle School, Meadow Hill Middle School, C.S. Porter, Hellgate, Willard, Lowell, Franklin, and Hawthorne Elementary School.
Wow,
Yes.
and I heard something might happen at Meadow Hill, just a rumor.
Yep, yeah, we have a coordinator there right now. They're doing limited programs this semester because she's actually still in college, and then it's going to expand to full programs for the springtime.
Nice.
Flagship as a whole is just so important to the community, I think, because it gives kids an opportunity to expand their horizons, but they get to explore different things and explore the creativity in a safe and open environment. And I think that's really important. And especially MCAT, you get to see the whole filmmaking process come true. So you write your own script, and then your movie comes about, and you get to watch it, and it's put on YouTube, which is really cool. And the Flagship program shares it also. So I think it's just a great opportunity for kids to show their creativity and explore things and opportunities that they might not have access to normally. So we're almost entirely grant funded. We also get a decent percentage of the alcohol tax from the state of Montana.
Nice.
Which is, yeah, it's very exciting that we're able to receive most of that. But we mostly go off of grants and donations. So donations are always welcomed in any form, whether it's supplies or money. And that's how we stay afloat. We just did a drive for Giving Tuesday and raised $3,500 actually.
Oh, congratulations.
So yeah, we're really excited about that.
And Flagship has a Facebook page. People can go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on there too. Like MCAT's videos get posted on there.
Right, if you want to see some MCAT videos.
Hilarious to watch. Oh my
There's
God.
some that are pretty fun,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And I can see that for kids, that this creative expression, it's in a time of their lives where their self-identity is forming, brains are forming, if we believe the neurologists, that it's a pretty wild time in a kid's life,
definitely.
middle school, right?
Yeah, it's a great time, I think. It's one of those grade levels where everybody's like, oh, I hated middle school. But watching these kids every day, it really has changed my perspective of my experience even in middle school. Just knowing that they really have the world at their fingertips and can do whatever they want. And Flagship, I really think, helps inhibit all those opportunities and helps the kids access and find who they are much easier. So
nice. Well, Morgan, thanks for giving us the time for the interview.
Absolutely.
All right. And we'll go upstairs and see what the MCAT kids are up to.
When I was a kid, both of my parents worked, so I was in an after-school program until 5 or 6 every evening. And the people who worked there were very important to me, as a kid, and so that's kind of what I wanted to do in this scenario too. This one's a lot more fun because we actually get to do stuff rather than just be put into a room and be like, do your homework. So.
Oh yeah, that sounds like study hall. Well, hey guys, I'm here with Scott Ramp. He is an honored MCAT employee. Thanks, Scott, for taking the time today. So what is it like to be a Flagship activity leader?
It's fun. It's something I definitely started out when I started at MCAT in the first place. It was a good way to basically get my feet wet, and basically it's a nice way to have a bunch of talented kids show the world their chops, basically.
Right. We were talking to Morgan just earlier about how kids of this age, that they're forming in so many respects, and they're trying to figure out, well, what kind of person am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
And video seems like a great way. Do they do some acting, right?
Oh yeah.
Maybe
a little bit acting, a little bit everything.
Right. They think of the concepts too for a lot of the skits you guys do.
Yeah, a lot of their ideas come from things they've seen before, and sometimes they have their own ideas because since they're in school, we have a certain setting that they have to be in school type setting. So there's a couple times that I've appeared in some videos as well.
As a teacher often, right?
Yeah, it's you can be a teacher. It's okay.
Any other roles for you as the adult in
I
this
don't know,
series?
a truancy cop in one
Oh,
video.
okay, yeah. And then the subjects deal with like same sort of stuff, like popularity, peer pressure,
Yeah.
nascent romance, like does that person like me, and that kind of thing.
No, I mean, it turns out that a couple of videos I've done in the past were, well, they're all very satirical.
Right.
And like a lot of times the kids have an idea that they want to do a movie, but then usually it just turns out it's just like, oh, it's really funny. A lot of times it's like the more they try not to be funny, the funnier it is.
Right. And then some of the subjects deal with authority, right? Like how do you deal with authority? Like, isn't there one where you're like a teacher ghost or something?
Teacher ghost.
I don't know, you're chasing them.
Yes.
Like I saw that recently.
That's the one where I'm. It's called Carver, and it's one of those videos where it's like he's like an obsessed guy to make sure that these kids stay in school.
Oh, so that's why you're chasing them through the corridors and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like I just thought it was like like it was a good idea. All the kids seemed really on board with it, and usually if there's a couple kids that really want to do something, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and then of course, I try to find the kids that really want to do it and try to cultivate their skills. Maybe have them hold the camera a couple times during the shoots. A lot of times, it's really hard to kind of rustle them up now and again.
Right.
So a lot of times, I hold the camera and be like, "Say this, now say this, now say
Right.
this. Let's move on to the next thing."
And at this age, too, you kind of act as their editor. If they were older, like the kids that do the Hellgate Flagship, they get involved with post-production and so on. But at this stage, often you're kind of like the magician man, right? You put their images into camera and then you bring them back, kind of a vision of what they wanted, and then they can delight in the finished product.
And Washington Middle School is such a good school too because it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time, and usually from what I've seen in a lot of other schools, it takes about half an hour for the kids to really start getting into gear and try to come up with a nice little concept.
Why not?
And
Because
with
they've
this
been
one-
at school all
Yeah.
day. I mean, how many people go home from work and then boom,
Ready to
they're
go.
doing the next thing?
Right? It's the unwinding time, and this is
Yeah.
kind of what they're doing right now.
But so, I mean, but there is some choice Flagship offers the kids. Like when we first came in downstairs, everyone involved with Flagship is there. They can get a snack if they want to, and then
And it's
several
provided by the food bank, which you
Missoula
guys
Food
did.
Bank. Thank you.
Which you guys did. for Missoula
Yeah.
Roundabout as
Shout
well.
out Missoula Food Bank. See, the town's working together. So the kids do have some choice in what they do after school.
Yes.
So they decide they're going to do video, or what are some of the other stuff they're into now?
You must have got the horn when they introduced it.
Yeah,
they got the thing.
I heard that.
guy was RPG, so they're doing like a D&D
Role-playing games.
Yes, Dungeons and Dragons kind of group that they just kind of take the kids and they just basically do this and use their imagination and
Right.
that kind of thing, which is good.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we should point out too that Flagship is open to people conducting, as MCAT does, or the RPG thing, conducting activities. So if they're really interested, they could go find Flagship online, just Google it,
Yeah.
the Facebook page. They're easy to contact. You guys saw Morgan, she's really nice. And you could propose an activity, and they would just vet you, check you out, see what's going on.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And,
background checks are like
yeah.
if you're gonna be working around
There's
children,
standards,
so
it just
you have to
happens
make
to
sure.
people.
Yeah,
You'd be
you have to
prepared.
do it.
But I know in the past, kids have had different mentors come in and
Yeah.
offer them an area of expertise. So if you, dear viewer, have an area of expertise and you'd like to offer it to Flagship, feel free. Well, Scott, anything more you want to add before you get on with them?
I do want to give a shout out to Christian that
Yeah.
you mentioned it. He was the one who kind of started the
he did.
started the Flagship after school program because before it was Flagship, you did artist in the school.
I
So
did
there's
20 years ago.
Yes. So
yeah,
there-
there's precedent, right?
There's precedent to all sorts of activities that are done after school. In school stuff is now becoming a little more popular in terms of education programs as well.
Yeah,
So.
and media arts is really becoming more recognized as something today's kids have to learn because,
YouTube.
right?
YouTube.
Facebook,
A lot of kids
Instagram.
want to be YouTube famous.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
And to be YouTube famous, and that's what kids have to learn. What we call it, media literacy.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's like the audience becomes the entertainer. So it's audience are the entertainers.
Yeah,
as well.
crowdsource, right? Well, Scott, thanks for taking the time, and thanks for doing Flagship for MCAT.